period to an application. Because the time frames are so long, we would submit that we should reduce the period to object from 20 days to 10 days. You know, the people that are really going to object, but the people that are really going to object are going to get notice and certified mail. They're going to know something's going on. I mean, obviously, that's an issue. We would respectfully submit that should be reduced.
But who's responsible for giving them the notice?
The county commission, and the applicant has to pay for that.
Okay, so the county commission gets word, and they automatically know all the neighbors that are in that area for the proposed.
That has to be produced.
They can send.
The applicant has to provide that information.
You've been shooting from back there. Yeah. You have to read the ordinance, the proposal, because the application has to include all that information. We don't have to go out and get it. The applicant has to produce that to us. So,
but you don't have to go out and get it, but then how do you validate it? Be sure that the people are all included here. In other words, it's the same concept of DEP saying you have to do this and this, but there's no way to validate that was done.
yeah,
so you're just taking for granted that they're giving you a list of all the names they say are impacted, but what if they're not? And somebody's left out because they didn't get a certified letter and they only had 10 days to find out and they haven't talked to the neighbors in 10 days.
We have tax maps and the tax office is right here in this courthouse that it could be gone ahead and checked out. Plus, I believe you're also going to do a legal ad in the newspaper.
Yeah, legal advertisement in the newspaper. I mean, and let me be clear on some of the suggestions we added. We contributed to it. Dawn, we added more than just people on the property. We have no problem with that. We added people living on the property because you may live on the property but not own it. I mean, we explained that at least one adult resident living in the household. We clarified some of that language. So,
Mr. Hastings, I think one of the reasons for that time frame, the 20 days, in this county we have the public notice in the newspaper. We have weekly papers. All right. So even though one comes out on, well, the only one that can have public notices or legal advertisements comes out on a Tuesday.
You also have to understand it's going to be on the county. I mean, the notice is pretty, quite frankly, there's going to be more notice provided for a floodplain application than there is anything the state done. I mean, there's going to be certified mail, there's going to be placed on the agenda of the county commission, and I know everyone in this room watches the agenda for the county commission.
So do you.
Sometimes they get mailed to me, they're emailed to me. Sometimes I have to call the clerk's office to get them faxed. But
you just don't go on vacation longer than a week.
I'll get you just one second.
personal service
with the sheriff. There's publication. I mean, everybody's going to know when there's an application filed. It's not going to be a secret. And if you're out there on the property, you're going to know people's out there doing floodplain studies out there on the property. So it shouldn't be a secret. Shouldn't be a secret. Yes, sir.
I think the ordinance reads, and I think there were some suggestions to make the changes in it, that the adjacent property owners. Look, there are more people affected in a floodplain than the adjacent.
We are taking care of that. I
All right.
appreciate your comment.
Okay.
We've expanded that in the 5th draft to include other properties that are not adjacent that are identified that would be affected by flooding based upon the flood survey that the applicant has filed. So we've expanded that.
Right.
The industry doesn't necessarily object to that expansion. There is one issue about whether a floodplain survey would be done on every application, and we still have to, using Ms. Huff's words, squeak that to make it work. But we have expanded that. I think it's a great idea because of the issue of how the adjacent properties are attached to the property.
Right.
And we do appreciate it.